Yo, and welcome to this simple explanation guide on salvage kits. Guild Wars 2 has a lot of different salvage kits, as you can see here. These are all different salvage kits. And knowing your salvage kits is actually very important for making money. Guild Wars is all about salvaging things and using those materials to either make money or to build the things you want. At the end of the day, materials and salvaging are a key component of this game. So it's very, very good to know what you're doing. There are these, which are gem store salvage kits. I'll talk about them second, but I want to talk about the normal salvage kits first that any player could get while playing the game without spending any actual money. Starting out, you get things called, you can get crude salvage kits. They're given up for like leveling up. They're trash. They're crude. They're crude salvage kits. They're very, very basic. It doesn't even tell you how low it is, it just says a small chance. It's not great. Then you have your basic. So this is your lowest tier. You only use it for a little bit. It's going to be very few levels before you can even start using a basic, so you don't really need to worry about it. But the lowest one is a crude salvage kit. It's bad. You're not going to get a lot out of it, so you're not going to use it for long. Now, basic salvage kit. Now, the basic salvage kit, what it says is, double-click to salvage an item. 10% chance at rare materials, 20% chance of salvaging upgrades. Now what does that actually mean? Well, 10% chance of rare materials mean when you salvage something, you have a chance to be getting either more of that material, or the material itself might go up a rank. So let's say you normally get, normal like softwood, it might go up to hardwood. Or instead of getting 1 log, you might get 3 logs. It's a low chance. It's only 10% chance at rare materials, but that's what it means. It has a chance to give you more or to give you something better. The salvaging upgrades is green items have upgrades in them. See these runes and or sigils, depending on like what item it is. You have a chance to salvage those runes into a material that you can use or sell to make better runes. Otherwise, though, if that 20% chance fails, that rune just goes into the ether. You don't make any money off it. It just goes away, just gone. But here, for an example. So we're going to salvage some, using our basic salvage kit, we're going to salvage some blues. So salvage this. We got 1 mithril ore. Salvage this. 2 silk scraps. Salvage this. 1 wood log. Now I also have those were blues. Now there's also, you can also salvage your whites or you just these like junk items. See how they're said salvage items? When they're just white salvage items like this, you want to use your basic salvage kit. There's no point in using the higher, more expensive ones since there's nothing higher you're going to get out of these. So just use your basic to save your money. Boom. Get some materials there. And that's using the basic salvage kit. Crude is even less. It's just a worse version of the basic. Plus you only get 15 instead of 25 charges. This is really just to get you used to what a salvage kit is. Don't worry about it. Now, after basic, you have these upgrades you can get in between. Basically just a fine salvage kit, which has a 15% chance at rare materials instead of 10, and a 40% chance of salvaging upgrades. So it 5% increase for rarity, literally 20% increase in salvaging upgrades. So it's definitely a lot better than the basic. It's fine. You can keep going up though. Instead of 15% chance of rare materials, you can get 20%. And instead of a 40% chance of getting the salvaging upgrades, you can go up to 60. So these are just like flat out better versions, just like their tier would imply, than what they previously are. So you always want to use the best one that you can while you're leveling. But let's say, for the most part, you're going to spend the majority of this game at level 80. That's where where the most of the, grinding, gearing, needing the materials, most of that's going to happen at your end game. So you're not going to have to worry about these. What you're going to want to know is a master salvage kit. These are the thing you're going to use the most. Now, a master salvage kit is 25% chance at rare materials, 80% chance of salvaging upgrades. So what you'd want to do is for the master salvage kit, you would use on your gold, on your rare items, because the higher chance of rare materials on the greens gives you a chance at getting ectos. See how I got two mithril ore, and these lucent notes? These lucent notes are the upgrade, they're the runes, or the sigils, being salvaged into these crystals, which you can use to build your own runes, and you can sell them on the market, so they're useful. So yeah, you just use your master on these, hoping to get globs of ecto. Globs of ecto are the real thing that you mostly want. Is what you really want, and the ectoplasms is your main objective. And the best way to get that is by using an upgrade that gives you the highest chance of getting it. Don't worry, we'll get to the greens. So yeah, so most of the time you're going to use the Master Salvage Kit for your greens, and then if you have, let's say you don't have any of the gem store ones and you're only using the normal one, you would use a Journeyman Salvage Kit, and you could just salvage your greens. Keep getting your stuff, you get your luck, use your luck if you need them. And it will turn those the runes and sigils into lucent notes. And you keep getting your materials, no problem. Now, the issue with this though, that can be extremely annoying, is let's say you don't want to have to buy there's only 25 a charge, and let's say you don't want to have a whole bunch of the salvage kits, or you don't have to keep going and buying more and more master salvage kits. Well, a thing you can do is you can create this, which is a mystic salvage kit. Now, a mystic salvage kit is the same ability as a master's, 25% at rare materials, 80% chance of salvaging the upgrade, aka turning into lucid notes. But it has 250 charge. Way better. Not only is it cheaper than buying a whole bunch of master salvage kits, but it's just one item that you don't have to waste so many spots, and you have 250 for. So this is way better. Now, how do you get this? How do you get a mystic salvage kit? Well, you can make a mystic salvage kit by going to a merchant and buying one master salvage kit, one journeyman salvage kit, and one fine salvage kit, and then you use a thing called these mystic forge stones. You can get mystic forge stones by doing your daily logins. You have a chance of getting them during your daily login. You also have a chance of getting them from achievement chests. You used to be able to buy them off the gem store. I don't think you can anymore, but even if you could, don't, because it instantly no longer is worth the value if you have to spend money on it. So only do this if you have these. But if you have these and you're curious, like, what do I use mystic forge stones for? One of the best ways to use it is to make mystic salvage kits. Now, I don't think it's going to let me because I've already you need full stacks. You can't be using like partially used stacks. But what you do is you literally just go to a mystic forge, and you would put in a mystic forge stone, you'd put in your fine salvage, and then you'd put in the other two tiers, which it won't let me because I've already used them. But you would put this in, and then you would put your masters in, when they're not unused, of course, and you would forge. It only takes 3. It takes 3 mystic forge stones to do it, and it would fuse them all together, and that's how you would get your mystic salvage kit. So that is what you would use on all your rares. It's very convenient, and it just stays in your bag, and you're good. That's what you're gonna want to use for all your rares. Further down, so that would be your main thing. Further down, once again, you can buy these, not recommended, or you'll most likely get them from doing your daily logins. They're Black Lion salvage kits. Now these are freaking amazing in a sense that you get a 100% chance of recovering your upgrades and a 50% chance of getting rare materials. So the boost is already 50% compared to the 25% that you get. The 25% chance of rare materials, this becomes 50% chance. Now the difference though is that where this salvage is the runes or sigils, so let's just say that you really for whatever reason want this minor rune of the flock. You wouldn't want it, but let's just say you did. If you want it without ruining it, you would use a black line salvage kit. So I have this one with 1 use left, so I'll use this one. But you could use this on the item, and notice how I got the rune itself. I got the full rune. Normally, when you salvage it, you would just get, think of it this way, lucent motes are runes and sigils broken down. Like even this salvages into this basically. But with the black line salvage kit, you can take the rune right out, or whatever it is, anything except an infusion, and pull it right out without destroying it, just in case you want upgrades. So that's what the black line salvage kit is good for. They're much harder to get, so they're better to hold on to for when you actually need or want a particular thing but don't want to destroy the item. That's what, you don't want to destroy the actual rune or sigil. That's what the black line salvage kit is for. They're much rarer. Again, you don't just get them normally, you have to get them from black line chests or from your login bonuses. Log in every day. That's how you get that. Now, there's even one further beyond than this called Ascended salvage tool. Now, these are specifically designed only to salvage Ascended items, which I just found out it won't let me salvage this one, of course. So for whatever reason, some things in the game, they won't let you salvage. But you could salvage a set, like here, you know what? I'm not gonna let it mess me up. We'll go get one, so here. So now I have this. It won't let me salvage this one, but it will let me salvage this. So you can, let's say you have some Ascended armor or Ascended things that you don't want and that you want to salvage out. You can use an Ascended salvage tool to do so. It works a little differently because Ascended items have certain things that come out of it. So we'll do it on this one so you can see. So we're gonna ask, very valuable. Salvage that. I got 1 ball of dark matter and a vision crystal, aka not great. But yeah, that's one of you use these to create the legendary backpack. They're also needed for other fractal things. These are account bound, so the only way to get them is to salvage Ascended gear. So you basically have to do that if you want to get the legendary item. That's how that works. And then I also got some dinky mat that no one cares about. The reason why you'd want it, let's say you already have the legendary backpack, like I do. Why would you ever want to salvage Ascended armor? Well, there's a very, very small chance that you'll get a item that's part of a collection they can sell on the auction house for a decent amount of money, because it's needed for the collection. You can only get it from salvaging Ascended items. So there is a little like risk thing that you could do for salvaging Ascended stuff to make it big, or to go for the collection. But yeah, so there's that. So that's Ascended. It's a very niche thing. You're not going to be doing a lot of that usually. It's more of a fractal end type of thing. But I just wanted to show that because it is a salvage tool. It is a salvaging thing. Now, that's all your normal stuff. So like on a normal day-to-day, you'd have like your salvage kit. When it comes to like white items, you would be completely fine with anything that's equivalent. So like, let's say this is 20%. So you'd want at least your basic salvage kit for basically any blue. So all the blues, because they don't have anything fancy in them, you can just use basic salvage kits to get your stuff out of it. As you go up, you'd probably want to use slightly better things as you go up. So like a journeyman's salvage kit would be good for your greens, if you want to salvage your greens, so you can get the most out of your green items. That way you can get your lucent notes and stuff, and that'd be the good use of green. And then again, for your golds, for your rares, I should say, you'd want to use your mystic salvage kits, or in this case, a master salvage kit if you don't have any forge stones. And then you would just use these on the hopes that you can get your ectos. What you really want is those sweet ectos for everything. Now, those are all the basics. That's all the basic salvaging kits. But what about the 3 gem store ones? These are the 3 gem store ones. There's copper fed, rune crafters, and silver fed. Now, copper fed is literally the equivalent of your basic. So they're both the same, 10% chance, 20% chance of salvaging the upgrade. Exactly the same. The only difference here is copper fed lasts forever, but it takes 3 copper away every time you use it, where the basic salvage kit, you use it and then it's gone and you need to buy more. It is basically universally guaranteed, proven fact that the copper-fed Salvage-O-Matic is basically one of the best gem store purchases you can buy in this game. And if you're ever going to buy at least just if you're only going to buy one thing, this would be my recommendation. If you're like, I will buy one salvage item off the gem store and that's it, this is my recommendation. Get a copper-fed Salvage-O-Matic. It's just fantastic. It's so good. It just makes crafting, salvaging things way easier. You'll use it all the time. It's fantastic. Then further down, let's say you want the Rune Crafter Salvage-O-Matic. Now, the Rune Crafters both has the 20% chance at rare materials, same thing as like a Journeyman. The only difference is this has a 100% chance of salvaging upgrades. So it always will turn any runes or sigils in any item into the dust. No questions. No problem at all. That's what it does. That is its very function. It's a Rune Crafter Salvage-O-Matic. You know what I mean? It salvages the runes. The Rune Crafter Salvage-O-Matic is good for your greens. So basically, what you would do if you had the gem store ones, like this is how I do it. You use your copper fed for blues or whites. If there is this white salvage item or blue salvage item, boom, use the copper fed. If it's a green salvage item, you'd use your Rune Crafters and salvage all your greens with your Rune Crafter. Then the last one is your silver fed, and your silver fed is basically the equivalent of a Masters or a Mystic, in a sense that it's both 25% chance with an 80% chance of salvaging the upgrade. But again, because of Ecto being so important, that 25% increase over the copper fed, over the Rune Crafters, and the way more over the copper fed, is worth it. It is deemed worth it. Funny thing too, it's called silver fed Salvage-O-Matic, but it's only 60 copper. I think once upon a time it actually cost a silver, but they balanced it to actually be cost efficient because it wasn't before. So now it's just 60. It's just 60 copper. I know it's called silver fed. It's just 60 copper. So yeah, and then you'd use this for all your rares. This is what you'd use for your rares and up. And that's how you'd use your salvaging thing. So that's how I normally keep mine if you have the gem store items. If not, you're gonna basically use your basic for most of your whites and blues. You use like a Journeyman for your greens, and then you'd want to use ideally a Mystic salvage kit or a Masters for your rares. When it comes to exotics, you would always just see what they sell in the auction house, and you'd make a judgment call there. If it's not worth much more than an Ecto, and you're going to lose the money on the trading post, you might as well just salvage the item with your best salvaging kit, because if you get 2 Ecto, you already made more money off it. So that's how I do it. And then always save your Black Lion salvage kits for serious things when you truly need it. If you want to remove a certain item out of an item, that's when you want your Black Lion salvage kits. And yeah, and that's the best use of your Mystic Forge coins, is to turn your Mystic Forge stones, turn them into Mystic salvage kits. That's the best way to do it. So yeah, that's basically salvaging. TLDR, copper fed or basic for all your whites. Rune Crafters if you want for your greens, or in this case your Journeyman for your greens, and then your silver fed or your Mystic or Masters for your rares. And that's how you make the most out of your salvaging. And then you just salvage your items, deposit them, and keep doing it. And that's the best way to use your salvage kits. That being said, one thing to know, if you have a bunch of unidentified items, because they come in those stacks of unidentified die, it is always better to either sell it unidentified, flat out, or identify everything and then salvage them according to their color. Never identify unidentified items and then sell them like that. You lose money. So either sell them unidentified or ID them yourself and then salvage them all according to their color. And that's how you use your salvage kits. So there you go. That's salvaging 101. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. Once you know what you're doing, it's very simple. You get very used to it. The salvaging kits are some of the most useful gem store items, and I hate saying that, but that's just the reality of gaming in 2021, that some of the best useful items are in the gem store. At least in the gem store, you can spend actual in-game gold to buy them, so you don't have to use the credit card. I recommend you get these. Hell, even if you just do achievements and get the gems from your achievements, use those gems and get the salvage kit. I am telling you, it is so good. And if you have your account slots like this, you throw in your copper fed in a account slot. Now all your characters have access to unlimited copper fed salvaging. It's so good. It's a must buy for anyone who's really taking this game seriously. So if you can do it, that's what I would recommend. So thank you guys so much for watching this guide. I appreciate it. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs. It means a lot. And I will catch you in the next video. Till then, stay super.